So now I will explain you how the hosting will be done. Okay. For example, let's take an example of GoDaddy is the hosting space provider. So if you look at here, first of all, if you wanted to host your website, see here rkithub.in. So this is what the name I wanted to have for my website. So what people will do, they will go to the GoDaddy space and then they will check rkithub.in. So whatever the domain you wanted to make use, you will try to search for that and understand whether the domain is available or not. See, this is already taken because we have already taken this. That's the reason this domain is not available. Let's say if I change something there, let's say I will give rktraining.in. Let's try this and see whether this is available or not. See, exact match. So that means this is available. So what we will do? So we will try to purchase this particular domain and then they will provide us some space 100 GB per mail box and then certain space for hosting your files and then finally we are going to have our files into this particular place, that is our hosting space. Then automatically you will be able to see your web application. So there are various hosting platforms: GoDaddy, Bluehost, HostGator, Hostinger, and then InMotion Hosting, DreamHost. Everybody will have their own plans, and you need to pay on a monthly basis or a yearly basis to have your website available through the internet. So that is not necessary at this point of time, but what we have to understand is how your website, for example, if you design any website like this, if you wanted to make it available for your end users, that means everybody wherever they wanted to access this website, what you have to understand is this website needs to be hosted at a particular hosting space. The provider is, that is the platform we have used. You can use GoDaddy or Hostinger, whatever the platforms I have shown. So people will purchase that and then they will host that space. Then automatically this will be available here. So this is how your web application will work. So similarly, there is one more environment which is your distributed environment. Let me explain that also. So in the distributed environment, you will have presentation layer and then you will have your database layer. So let me have it. Your presentation layer is here and then you will also have your database layer, and your client will reside in the presentation layer. Your server will be at the database layer, and in between you will have application servers or business logic layers. So let me have the application servers. So let's say for the web environment and distributed environment, the difference is you will have n number of application servers based on the requirement. And I'm just giving three application server layers and then application server 1, application server 2, and then application server 3. So these are the three business logic layers or application servers are available, and also you will have your web server. So your web server is also there. And what will happen? So whenever the user or the client or the customer performs any operation from the presentation layer based on the business logic, it will go to the corresponding business logic layer, and then it will go to the web server, and then it will go to the database layer, and from there the information comes back to the web server, and that will be displayed in the presentation layer. So to make it very simple, so it is as simple as, for example, you are looking for the results website. Okay, so some results website. So let's say you might have written any exams. If this is the website, if we are going to take, so there might be various exams boards. They may take this platform and they wanted to have their results based upon the hall ticket. I'm just giving it as an example. So let's say if they provide any particular examination, see SSC examination, BCom examination, HSC examination, like that there are so many examinations results are available. If I go to one and then where I have to provide the I'll be providing the roll number and then mother's first name, and then I have to click on the results button. What is that I'm doing? I am doing the from the presentation layer, I am going to do the operation. What does it mean? To get my results, I am going to provide roll number and then mother's first name and then click on results. So what will happen? There are so many application servers, right? This is one server, this is another server, this is another server. Let us say if you are looking for 10th standard results, the logic will go from this. If it is for intermediate, it may go from this. If it is B.Tech, it may go from this. Like that, they will have n number of application servers to reduce the traffic. So to reduce the traffic, for example, if at all you have all these things, right, all these logics within the same business logic layer, then definitely the performance will go down. So now what will happen based upon your query? For example, if they are checking for HSC examination, if you have written HSC logic should be from this, then the when the user presents the operation, it will go here and directly go to the web server, and then from the database it will get the response back. So if at all you're doing for some other exam, let us say IIT results, you are doing it in the second tier. So when the user goes to that particular page, let us say you may go back to that particular page where you have seen the results, and let's say some other exam, CBSE exams, IIT exam, like whatever the name it is, you will go to the corresponding page and then you will go to the corresponding link and you will provide the username and whatever the details you wanted to provide, and you will submit it. So in that case, what will happen? The load or the traffic, whatever is coming to these particular layers will be reduced, then automatically the performance of the application will be high. That is the reason for enterprise applications, a lot of banking applications or any kind of insurance applications, which is having a huge number of customers accessing these applications, will use the distributed environment. So this is what you have to understand, how your application server and your business logic layer and then the client and then the server works. So these are the basic terms which are very, very important. So if you are clear, then you should be in a position to understand the API testing. So before we go to API testing, very simple example, a lot of people will take this example whenever we talk about API testing. So I'll just give that example also. Let's say you might already heard this somewhere. So let's say there is a restaurant, okay? So you have gone to a restaurant. So you've gone to a restaurant, and then what you will do as soon as you go to the restaurant, one person will come to you, right? So who will be that person? So there will be a server or waiter. So that person will come to you with the menu, right? So whatever the menu he will provide you, you are going to take that menu, and then what you do? You will go through the menu and then request this particular person. So what do you mean by request? You are going to tell him that whatever you want. So you are going to provide some request. You are going to request the person. So what obviously this person will do? So this person will go to the kitchen. So he'll go to the kitchen and there he will be talking to the chef, and then he is providing whatever the request you have provided, that information you are going to pass it to him. Based on that, the chef will prepare and send it back to the server, and that will be served to the customer. So this is a very simple understanding of a API testing, which means you're going to do you're making a request, you're making a request, and then your API will go to the server and then get the response back. What is that and how are you going to test? All those things we are going to do as part of our API testing. So very simple understanding, request and response. Client will request and then you will be getting the response back from the server.